My dear child, I see you there. I see the weariness etched into the lines of your face, the weight pressing down on your shoulders like a heavy cloak you've been wearing far too long. You've been carrying so much, haven't you? The responsibilities, the worries, the endless list of things that demand your attention and drain your energy. The world has been pulling at you from every direction, and you've been trying so hard to keep up, to meet every expectation, to be everything for everyone. But tonight, all of that can stop. Tonight, you can set down that heavy load and come to me. I want you to picture something beautiful with me. Imagine that you're walking along a quiet forest path just as evening is beginning to settle over the land. The trees around you are tall and ancient, their branches creating a gentle canopy overhead. The air is clean and fresh, carrying the sweet scent of pine needles and wildflowers. Your footsteps are soft on the moss-covered ground, and with each step you feel a little more of the day's tension beginning to slip away from your shoulders. As you round a bend in the path, you see it. There, in a small clearing surrounded by these protective trees, is a cozy stone cottage. Warm, golden light spills from its windows, and from the chimney rises a thin curl of smoke, telling you that inside there's a fire waiting, crackling and bright. This is where I've been waiting for you, my beloved child. This is the place I've prepared just for you where you can finally rest. The cottage door stands open, and I'm there in the doorway, smiling at you with the love of a father who's been eagerly watching for his child to come home. There's no judgment in my eyes, no disappointment about how long it's taken you to find your way here. There's only joy, only welcome, only the deep satisfaction of seeing you finally arrive at the place where you can be at peace. Come inside with me now. Feel the warmth immediately embrace you as you cross the threshold. This warmth isn't just from the fire, though the hearth is glowing brightly across the room. This warmth is from love itself, from acceptance, from the presence of one who knows you completely and loves you beyond measure. Let that warmth begin to seep into your bones, chasing away the chill of loneliness and fear that you've been carrying. Look around this safe haven I've created for us. The walls are made of smooth river stones, each one carefully chosen and placed with love. They're strong and protective, keeping out all the harsh winds of the world. The floor is covered with soft, thick rugs that feel wonderful beneath your feet. There are comfortable chairs by the fire, with cushions that look like they could hold you safely for hours. And everywhere you look, there's the gentle glow of candlelight and firelight, creating shadows that dance peacefully on the walls. But most importantly, you're not alone here. I am with you, and in my presence, there is perfect peace. There is no rush here, no schedule to keep, no demands to meet. There is only this moment, this sacred space, and the opportunity to finally let your guard down completely. You don't have to be strong here. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be anything other than exactly who you are right now, in this moment, tired and needing rest. Chapter 2. Settling into Safety. Come sit with me by the fire. Choose the chair that looks most comfortable to you, the one that seems to call to your weary body with its promise of support and softness. As you sink into it, feel how it receives your weight without complaint, how it cradles you like loving arms. This chair has been waiting for you, just as I have been waiting for you. It was made for this moment, for this meeting between us. Feel the warmth from the fireplace beginning to reach you now. It's a gentle warmth, not harsh or overwhelming, but steady and comforting. Let it touch your face first, warming your cheeks and forehead, melting away the tension that's been building there throughout the day. The fire crackles softly, a sound that speaks of home and safety and peace. Listen to that gentle crackling. Let it begin to crowd out all the other sounds that have been clamoring for your attention. I know your mind is probably still racing, still trying to process the events of the day, still worrying about tomorrow's challenges. That's perfectly natural, my child. Your mind has been working so hard for you, trying to solve problems, trying to plan and prepare and protect. But tonight, you can give your mind permission to rest. You can let me do the watching, the planning, the protecting. You are completely safe here with me. Look into the flames now. See how they dance and flicker. Never quite the same from one moment to the next, yet always beautiful, always warm. There's something hypnotic about fire, isn't there? Something that draws your attention and holds it gently, allowing everything else to fade into the background. Let your gaze rest on those flames. Let them become your focus, your anchor to this moment of peace. As you watch the fire, I want you to imagine that each flame represents one of your worries, one of your concerns. See them there, flickering in the fireplace. But notice what happens to them. In the warmth and light of my presence, they don't grow larger or more frightening. Instead, they begin to transform. The anxiety about tomorrow's meeting becomes a flame of trust that I will give you the words you need. The worry about your loved one's health becomes a flame of faith that I am the great physician. The fear about your finances becomes a flame of confidence in my provision. Watch as each worry is transformed in the fire of my love. They don't disappear entirely because I know these things matter to you, and what matters to you matters to me. But they change from sources of anxiety into opportunities to trust, to lean on me, to experience my faithfulness in new ways. The fire doesn't consume your concerns. It purifies them, leaving only what is good and true and helpful. Take a deep breath now, drawing in the clean, warm air of this sacred space. As you exhale, let out a sigh of relief, a sound that comes from deep within your chest, releasing some of the pressure you've been feeling. With each breath, you're not just exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide, you're exchanging the stale air of stress for the fresh air of peace, the polluted atmosphere of the world for the pure atmosphere of my presence. This is what I wanted to give you tonight, beloved child. Not just rest for your body, though that will come, but rest for your spirit. A place where you can stop performing, stop striving, stop trying to earn love and acceptance. Here, you are already loved, already accepted, already cherished beyond measure. Here, you can simply be. Chapter 3. The Heart That Sees You. As you sit here by the fire, feeling the first whispers of peace beginning to settle over you like a soft blanket, I want you to know something profound and life-changing. I want you to understand, in the depths of your being, how I see you. Because how I see you is the truth about who you are, and it's so different from how you've been seeing yourself, so much more beautiful than what the world has told you about your worth. When I look at you, I don't see your failures. I don't see your mistakes cataloged and highlighted in red ink. I don't see the times you've fallen short of your own expectations or disappointed others. Those things exist, yes, but they're not what defines you in my eyes. They're not the lens through which I view your precious life. Instead, when I look at you, I see my beloved child, created in my image, stamped with my own nature, carrying within you a spark of the divine that can never be extinguished. I see the times you've been brave when you felt terrified inside. I see the moments when you chose kindness even when you were hurting. I see your tender heart that breaks for others' pain, your generous spirit that gives even when you feel empty yourself. I see the way you've kept going when everything in you wanted to quit, the way you've chosen hope when despair seemed more reasonable, the way you've loved others even when love wasn't returned in the way you needed. The world looks at external things, your productivity, your achievements, your appearance, your status. But I see your heart. I see the secret tears you've cried when no one was watching. I see the prayers you've whispered in the darkness, wondering if anyone was listening. I see the battles you fought in silence, the victories no one else knows about, the small acts of courage that have gone unnoticed by everyone, except me. You are not the sum of your mistakes, dear one. You are not defined by your weaknesses or your struggles. You are my masterpiece, created with intention and purpose, loved with an everlasting love that nothing can diminish. Even on your worst day, even in your darkest moment, even when you feel furthest from me, you are still precious in my sight, still valuable beyond measure, still worthy of all the love and grace and mercy I long to pour out on you. I know you've been listening to other voices, voices that tell you you're not enough, that you need to do more, be more, achieve more to have any worth. Those voices are lies, beloved. They come from the enemy of your soul, whose greatest weapon is deception, whose favorite target is your sense of identity and belonging. He knows that if he can convince you that you're worthless, that you're alone, that you're beyond hope, then he can keep you from experiencing the abundant life I came to give you. But tonight, in this quiet place by the fire, let my voice be the loudest voice you hear. Let my truth drown out all the lies that have been whispering in your ear. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are chosen, beloved, set apart for good works that I prepared beforehand for you to walk in. You have a purpose that no one else can fulfill, a unique role in my kingdom that has been designed specifically for you. The fire crackles gently beside us, and in its warm light, I can see your face beginning to relax, the lines of worry starting to smooth out. This is what truth does, dear child. It brings peace. It brings rest. It brings the deep satisfaction of finally coming home to who you really are, not who the world has told you to be, but who I created you to be from the very beginning. Chapter 4. Releasing the Day's Burdens. Now, my beloved, I want us to do something together. I want us to take all the burdens you've been carrying and gently set them down here by the fire. You've been like a traveler with an overloaded pack, trying to carry more than you were ever meant to bear, and your shoulders ache from the weight of it all. But you don't have to carry these things into our time of rest. You can trust me with them. You can let them go. Picture yourself reaching up to your shoulders and feeling for the straps of that invisible backpack you've been wearing all day. Can you feel the weight of it? It's heavy with worry about tomorrow's responsibilities, isn't it? It's packed tight with concerns about your loved ones, financial pressures, health issues, relationship struggles, and 1,000 other things that have been pressing down on your spirit. One by one, let's unpack this burden and set it at my feet. First, take out that worry about your job, that anxiety about whether you're performing well enough, whether you're secure, whether you'll be able to meet all the demands being placed on you. Feel the weight of it in your hands, then gently set it down beside my chair. I am the Lord of all provision, the one who opens doors that no one can shut and closes doors that no one can open. Your career, your finances, your future security, all of it is safe in my hands. I know what you need before you ask, and I am already working to provide for you in ways you can't yet see. Next, pull out that heavy concern for your family members, that ache in your heart for their struggles and pain. I know how much you love them, how desperately you want to fix their problems and shield them from harm. But beloved, you were never meant to be their savior. That's my job. Set that burden down too. I love them even more than you do, and I am actively working in their lives even when you can't see it. I am their good shepherd, just as I am yours, and I will lead them beside still waters and restore their souls. Now reach deeper into that pack and pull out the guilt, the regret, the shame that's been weighing you down. Those mistakes you made, those words you wish you could take back, those opportunities you missed, those ways you feel you've fallen short. These burdens are some of the heaviest ones we carry, aren't they? But watch what happens when you place them in the fire. See how the flames receive them, not to torture you with them, but to consume them completely. My forgiveness is not partial or temporary. It is complete and eternal. Those sins, those failures, those regrets, they are gone, separated from you as far as the east is from the west. Feel how much lighter you're becoming with each burden you release. Your shoulders are starting to drop, aren't they? The tension in your neck is beginning to ease. This is what I want for you always, not just in these quiet moments, but in every day of your life. I want you to know that you can cast all your cares on me because I care for you. You don't have to figure everything out, solve every problem, carry every weight. I am strong enough to bear what you cannot, wise enough to solve what puzzles you, loving enough to care about every detail that matters to you. Now, with your pack empty and your burdens transferred to my capable hands, lean back in your chair and feel the difference. Feel how your body wants to sink deeper into the cushions, how your muscles are beginning to remember what it feels like to be truly relaxed. This is just the beginning, dear one. This is just the first step into the deep rest I want to give you. Chapter 5. Breathing in Peace. Now that your burdens are laid down and your heart is beginning to feel lighter, I want to teach you how to breathe in a way that will carry you deeper into the peace I have for you. Breathing is something you do thousands of times each day without thinking about it. But tonight, we're going to make it intentional, purposeful, a bridge that carries you from the stress of the day into the perfect rest I have prepared. Place one hand gently on your chest and the other on your stomach. Feel the natural rhythm of your breathing as it is right now. Don't try to change it yet. Just notice it. Your breath has been shallow today, hasn't it? Quick and high in your chest, the kind of breathing that comes with anxiety and stress. Your body has been in survival mode, ready to fight or flee, and your breathing has reflected that tension. But here, by the fire with me, there is no need for that kind of vigilant breathing. Here you can breathe the way you were meant to breathe, deep and slow and peaceful. Let's start by taking a long, slow breath in through your nose. Don't force it. Just let it come naturally, filling your lungs from the bottom up. Feel your stomach expand first, then your ribs, then your chest. Hold that breath for just a moment, not in tension, but in gentle pause, like a moment of prayer. Now, release that breath slowly through your mouth, letting it carry away with it some of the tension you've been holding. As the air leaves your body, feel your muscles beginning to relax, your shoulders dropping just a little more, your jaw unclenching slightly. This is how peace enters the body, breath by breath, moment by moment, like gentle waves washing over you. Let's do this again, but this time I want you to imagine that you're not just breathing in air, but breathing in my very presence. Imagine that the air in this room is thick with peace, heavy with love, saturated with the essence of my character. As you inhale, you're drawing in patience for the challenges you face, kindness for the relationships that are difficult, gentleness for your own wounded heart, faithfulness for the times when you can't see the way forward. And as you exhale, let go of more than just carbon dioxide. Release the frustration that's been building in your chest, the anger that's been simmering beneath the surface, the fear that's been whispering lies about your future. Watch these things leave your body like dark smoke, immediately dissolved by the light and warmth of the fire, transformed into nothing by the power of my presence. Continue breathing like this, slowly and deeply. Each breath, a prayer, each exhale, a release. Feel how your heartbeat is beginning to slow, how your mind is becoming quieter, how your body is remembering what it feels like to be truly at rest. This is what I want for you, not just tonight, but always. I want you to know that peace is always available to you, as close as your next breath, as accessible as this simple act of turning your attention to me. The fire continues to crackle softly beside us, its light dancing on your face, its warmth reaching deeper into your body with each breath you take. You're safe here, completely safe, and you're loved beyond measure. Let that truth settle into your bones as you breathe. Let it become part of your very being. You are my beloved child, and in my presence there is fullness of joy. At my right hand are pleasures forevermore. Chapter 6. gentle release of tension. As your breathing deepens and your spirit begins to settle into this place of safety, I want to help you release the physical tension that's been accumulating in your body throughout the day. Your body has been faithfully carrying the stress of your mind and heart, storing it in your muscles, your joints, your very cells. But tonight we're going to invite every part of your body to join in this experience of deep rest and peace. Let's start at the very top of your head, where so many of your thoughts have been swirling like a storm. Place your attention there now, and feel my gentle hand resting on your head, blessing you, calming the chaos of your mind. Feel the warmth from my touch beginning to melt the tension that's gathered in your scalp, around your temples, across your forehead. Let your forehead smooth out, releasing the furrows of worry that have been carved there by constant concern. Now, let that warmth and relaxation flow down to your eyes. These beautiful eyes that have seen so much, that have witnessed both joy and sorrow, beauty and pain. Let your eyelids grow heavy, so heavy that it becomes a relief to keep them closed. Behind your closed lids, there's nothing you need to see. Nothing you need to watch for or worry about. I am your watchman now. I am keeping guard over your peace. Feel the relaxation moving to your jaw, that place where you've been clenching your teeth, grinding them in your sleep, holding back words you wanted to say or biting down on your anxiety. Let your jaw drop open slightly, creating space between your teeth, allowing all that held tension to simply dissolve away. Your mouth doesn't need to work right now, doesn't need to speak or explain or defend. Here with me, silence is golden, and rest is a sacred gift. Let this wave of peace continue down your neck, that vulnerable place that connects your head to your body, that carries so much responsibility for holding everything together. Feel the muscles there softening, lengthening, releasing their grip on the stress they've been holding. Your neck can rest now because you're not holding up the weight of the world anymore. I am your support, your strength, your foundation. Move your attention to your shoulders, those faithful servants that have been carrying far more than they were designed to bear. They've been hunched up around your ears, braced for impact, ready for the next crisis or challenge. But there are no crises here, no challenges to brace for. Let your shoulders drop. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them spread wide and settle into a position of complete rest. Feel the weight of responsibility sliding off them like a heavy coat being removed at the end of a long, cold day. Your arms have been reaching, grasping, working, holding on so tightly to things you feared might slip away. But tonight, they can rest at your sides, heavy and loose and completely relaxed. Your hands, those instruments of service and care, can open like flowers, palms up in a gesture of receiving rather than giving, ready to accept the good gifts I want to pour into your life. You don't need to hold on to anything right now. I am holding on to you. Feel this deep relaxation flowing into your chest now, that place where your heart has been racing, where anxiety has been creating a tight band of tension around your ribs. As the muscles between your ribs relax, your breathing becomes even easier, even deeper. Your heart, that faithful muscle that has been working overtime with stress and worry, begins to slow its rhythm, to beat with the calm, steady pulse of peace instead of the frantic rhythm of fear. Chapter 7. The Garden of Your Heart. My precious child, as your body settles deeper into this state of peaceful rest, I want to take you on a journey into an even more sacred space. I want to show you the garden of your heart, the inner landscape where your deepest self resides, where your truest identity lives, where my spirit has made his home. This garden has been neglected lately, hasn't it? Overgrown with weeds of worry, cluttered with the debris of disappointment, parched from lack of the living water that only I can provide. But I have not forgotten this garden. I have been tending it even when you didn't know it, protecting the precious things that grow there, preserving the beauty that the world has tried to destroy. Tonight, I want to show you what I see when I look into your heart, and I want to help you tend this sacred space with me. Picture us walking together through a gate made of smooth, weathered wood, into a garden that's partially wild, partially cultivated. The path beneath our feet is soft with moss and fallen leaves, and overhead, the branches of ancient trees filter the sunlight into gentle, dappled patterns. This is your heart, beloved, and every growing thing here tells a story of who you are, who you've been, and who you're becoming. See there in that shaded corner the flowers of compassion that bloom even in the darkness. They're some of the most beautiful flowers in the garden, these tender blossoms that grow from soil enriched by your own tears, your own suffering. Because you have known pain, you can offer comfort to others who are hurting. Because you have experienced loss, you can sit with others in their grief. These flowers of compassion are precious to me, and I water them with my own tears of love for a broken world. Over here, growing strong and tall despite the storms that have battered them, are the trees of perseverance. Look at their trunks, scarred but sturdy, their roots running deep into the soil of faith. These trees represent all the times you've kept going when you wanted to give up, all the moments when you chose to trust me even when you couldn't see the way forward. Each ring in their bark tells a story of another year of growth, another season of learning to rely on my strength when your own was depleted. But I also see areas of the garden that need our attention together. There, tangled around the base of those beautiful trees, are the thorny vines of self-doubt, self-criticism, self-hatred. These weeds have been growing for so long that you might think they're part of the natural landscape, but they're not. They're invasive species planted by the enemy of your soul, and they're choking the life out of the good things that want to grow in your heart. Come, let's pull these weeds together. Don't be afraid of the thorns. My hands are strong enough to handle them without being wounded. As we work, I want you to see each vine we remove for what it really is. This one is the lie that you're not good enough, that you have to earn love and acceptance through performance. Watch as we pull it up by the roots and toss it onto the pile to be burned. This one is the deception that you're alone, that no one really cares about you, that you're a burden to others. Out it comes, withered and powerless in the light of truth. Here's a particularly stubborn one, the vine of unforgiveness that's been wrapping itself around your heart, squeezing tighter every time you remember the ways you've been hurt. This one has thorns that go deep, and removing it might cause some pain initially. But beloved, the freedom that comes afterward will be worth every moment of discomfort. Forgiveness isn't about saying that what happened was okay. It's about refusing to let past hurts continue to poison your present joy. As we clear away these weeds, look how much more beautiful the garden becomes. See how the flowers of joy that were being choked can now lift their faces to the sun again. Notice how the streams of peace that were being blocked can now flow freely through every part of your heart. This is the work I want to do in your life, not just tonight, but every day. I want to help you tend the garden of your heart, cultivating what is good and beautiful while removing what is harmful and destructive. Chapter 8. The Call to Share in Peace. As we work together in the garden of your heart, pulling weeds and planting new seeds of hope and healing, my spirit is moved with such love for you and for all my children who are struggling tonight, just as you have been struggling. There are so many precious souls out there, lying awake in the darkness, carrying burdens that feel too heavy to bear, listening to lies that tell them they're alone, that they're not worthy of love, that there's no hope for their situation. If these words are bringing comfort to your weary heart tonight, if you're feeling the gentle touch of my peace beginning to settle over your spirit like a soft blanket, would you consider sharing this gift with others who need it just as desperately as you did when you first came to this quiet place by the fire? Your heart knows what it feels like to ache with loneliness, to wrestle with anxiety, to feel overwhelmed by the weight of life's challenges. Let that knowledge become compassion for others who are walking similar paths right now. Maybe there's someone in your family who's been struggling with depression, someone who feels like they're drowning in despair and can't find their way to the surface. Perhaps there's a friend who's been dealing with anxiety, whose mind races with worry and fear, who desperately needs to know that there's a place of peace available to them. Or maybe there's a coworker, a neighbor, someone you encounter in your daily life who carries their pain quietly, putting on a brave face while their heart is breaking inside. These people need to hear my voice speaking tenderly to their hearts, just as you're hearing it now. They need to know that they're not alone in their struggles, that there's a love waiting for them that's bigger than their problems, a rest available that's deeper than their weariness. They need to discover what you're discovering right now, that being loved completely changes everything, that being truly seen transforms how you see yourself, that being held by grace makes it possible to hold others with the same tenderness. I'm not asking you to become a preacher or a counselor, beloved child. I'm simply inviting you to become a gentle messenger of hope, someone who knows where weary souls can find the rest they've been craving. Sometimes that might mean sharing words like these directly. Other times it might mean living in such a way that others are drawn to the peace they see in your life, the calm they notice in your spirit even in the midst of storms. Your own story of finding rest in me, your own experience of having burdens lifted and peace restored, becomes a lighthouse for others who are lost at sea. You don't have to have all the answers or have your life perfectly figured out. You just need to be willing to point the way to the one who is the source of all comfort, all healing, all hope. So as you continue to rest here by the fire with me, let your heart be filled not only with peace for yourself, but with compassion for others who need this same gift. Let love overflow from the healing that's happening in your own soul, spilling out to touch the lives of everyone around you. This is how my kingdom grows. Not through force or argument, but through love overflowing from hearts that have been filled to the brim with grace, through peace spreading from one weary soul to another like ripples on a quiet pond. The garden of your heart is becoming more beautiful even as we sit here together, and soon it will be a place where others can come to find shade and refreshment, where the flowers of your healed heart can offer fragrance and beauty to a world that desperately needs both. Chapter 9. Freedom from the past. My beloved child, as we sit here in the growing warmth and peace of this sacred space, I see the shadows that still linger in your heart, the places where old wounds continue to ache, where memories of pain and disappointment cast their cold shadows over your present joy. I know you've been carrying these things for so long that they feel like part of who you are, but tonight I want to show you something that will change everything. I want to show you how to be truly free from the past, how to step out of the prison of yesterday and into the liberty of my love. You've been telling yourself a story about who you are based on what happened to you, what you did wrong, what others did to you, what you failed to become. But beloved, that story is not the truth about your identity. That story is not the final word on your worth or your future. Tonight, I want to help you write a new story, one that begins not with your failures, but with my faithfulness, not with your wounds, but with my healing, not with your shame, but with my grace. Look into the fire with me now, and let's bring those old stories, those painful memories, those defining moments that have been holding you captive. I want you to see them not as unchangeable facts about who you are, but as raw materials that I can transform into something beautiful. The same fire that gives us warmth and light tonight has the power to purify, to refine, to transform what seems worthless into something precious. Maybe you've been carrying the memory of something you did, a choice you made that hurt others or hurt yourself, a moment when you fell so far short of who you wanted to be that you've never been able to forgive yourself. Beloved, I know all about that moment. I was there with you, loving you even in your failure, grieving with you over your pain. And I want you to know that your worst moment does not define you. Your biggest mistake is not your truest identity. You are not the sum of your failures. You are the object of my unchanging love. Place that memory, that regret, that shame into the fire now. Watch as the flames receive it, not to condemn you, but to consume the power it has held over your life. See how the fire transforms your failure into an opportunity for grace, your mistake into a testimony of my mercy, your shame into a story of redemption. What the enemy meant to destroy you with, I can use to display my glory, to show the world what real forgiveness looks like, what genuine transformation can accomplish. Or perhaps you've been haunted by something that was done to you, a betrayal that shattered your trust, words that were spoken that carved deep wounds in your heart, actions that left you feeling worthless and abandoned. My precious child, I was there too. I saw every moment of your pain. I collected every tear that fell. I felt the agony of every wound as if it were inflicted on my own body. And I want you to know that what others did to you does not determine your value. Their inability to love you well does not mean you are unlovable. Their failure to see your worth does not make you worthless. Take those wounds, those betrayals, those moments when you felt most alone and abandoned, and place them in the fire as well. Watch as the flames burn away not the memory itself, but the poison that memory has been spreading through your life. See how the fire consumes the bitterness, the resentment, the fear of being hurt again, leaving behind only the wisdom that comes from having walked through darkness and found light on the other side. This is not denial, beloved. This is not pretending that painful things didn't happen or that they didn't matter. This is redemption. This is the miraculous alchemy of grace that takes what was meant for evil and transforms it into good, that uses even our deepest pain to create in us a capacity for compassion, for wisdom, for strength that we never could have developed any other way. You are not stuck in your past, dear one. You are not doomed to repeat old patterns, to carry old wounds, to live out old stories. You are a new creation in me, with a new identity, a new future, a new hope. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. And this new life, this new story, begins right here, right now, in this moment of surrender by the fire. Chapter 10. Your true identity revealed now. My precious child, with the shadows of the past being consumed in the fire of my love, with the weight of old shame and regret being lifted from your shoulders, I want to speak to you about who you really are. I want to tell you your true name, your real identity, the deepest truth about your being that nothing can ever change or diminish. This is not a truth based on your performance, your achievements, your successes or failures. This is a truth that flows from my heart to yours. A reality that was established before you were born and will remain long after your earthly journey is complete. You are my beloved child. Not because you earned it, not because you deserve it, but simply because I chose you. Before the foundation of the world, before the first star was hung in the sky, before time itself began, I knew you. I loved you. I chose you to be mine. Your name is written on the palms of my hands, engraved on my heart, spoken with delight in the halls of heaven. You belong to me, and nothing can separate you from my love. When the world looks at you, it sees your exterior, your appearance, your accomplishments, your status, your possessions. But when I look at you, I see so much more. I see the heart that loves deeply even when love is not returned. I see the spirit that hopes bravely even in the face of disappointment. I see the courage that keeps you going even when you feel weak. I see the kindness that flows from you even when you're running on empty. I see the beauty that radiates from a soul that has been touched by grace. You are not defined by your job title, though you may find fulfillment in your work. You are not defined by your relationships, though you may find joy in loving others. You are not defined by your circumstances, though they may bring challenges or blessings. You are defined by your relationship with me, by your position as my beloved child, by your inheritance as a member of my family. This identity is unshakable, unchangeable, unlosable. I know the lies that have been whispered in your ear, the accusations that have been hurled at your heart. You're not good enough. You're a failure. You're worthless. You're too much trouble. You're beyond help. But beloved, these are not my words. These are not my thoughts toward you. My words over you are words of life, of hope, of boundless love. You are chosen. You are precious. You are loved. You are wanted. You are enough. The enemy of your soul has been working overtime to make you forget who you are, to convince you that you're just another face in the crowd, just another broken person stumbling through life without purpose or meaning. But he's a liar, and tonight his lies are being consumed in the fire of truth. You are not forgotten. You are not insignificant. You are not a mistake or an accident. You were planned. You were designed. You were crafted with infinite care and attention to detail. Look at your hands for a moment. See how intricate they are, how perfectly formed for the work I have given you to do. Consider your mind, with its unique way of thinking, its particular blend of creativity and logic, emotion and reason. Think about your heart, with its capacity to love, to feel, to connect with others in ways that bring healing and hope. Every part of you was designed with intention, created with purpose, formed with love. Your struggles, your weaknesses, even your failures, none of these disqualify you from being my beloved child. In fact, they often become the very places where my strength is most clearly displayed, where my grace shines brightest, where my love is most powerfully demonstrated. I don't love you in spite of your imperfections. I love you as you are, right now, in this moment, with all your brokenness and beauty intertwined. The fire crackles softly beside us as these truths settle into your heart like seeds finding fertile soil. Feel how different you are from the person who first sat down in this chair. The anxiety is lifting. The burden is lightening. The peace is deepening. This is what happens when you remember who you are, when you align with your true identity, when you stop trying to be someone else and simply rest in being my beloved child. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to earn love, fight for acceptance, or perform for approval. You are already approved, already accepted, already loved beyond measure. This is the foundation upon which you can build a life of peace, the bedrock that will hold you steady when storms come, the unshakable truth that will anchor your soul in every season. Chapter 11. Promises that never fail. My beloved child, as you rest in the truth of who you are, I want to surround you with promises that will become like pillars of strength in your life, supporting you when you feel weak, guiding you when you feel lost, comforting you when you feel afraid. These are not empty words or wishful thinking. These are unbreakable commitments backed by all of my power, all of my faithfulness, all of my love. I promise you that I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is not a conditional promise that depends on your behavior or your faith. This is an absolute guarantee based on my unchanging character. Whether you feel my presence or not, I am with you. Whether you can trace my hand in your circumstances or not, I am working. Whether you understand my ways or not, I am loving you with an everlasting love. My presence with you is as constant as gravity, as reliable as the sunrise, as certain as my own existence. I promise you that I am working all things together for your good, even the painful things, even the confusing things, even the things that seem like setbacks or failures. I am weaving them all into a tapestry of grace that will one day take your breath away with its beauty. You may only see a few threads right now, and some of them may seem dark or tangled, but I see the whole picture. I see how every thread is necessary, how every color contributes to the overall design, how even the darkest threads serve to make the light ones shine more brilliantly. I promise you that my grace is sufficient for you. Whatever you're facing, whatever you'll face in the days to come, my grace will be enough. Not barely enough, not just enough to scrape by, but abundantly sufficient. More than enough to not only survive, but to thrive. When you feel weak, my power will be made perfect in your weakness. When you feel foolish, my wisdom will guide you. When you feel alone, my presence will comfort you. When you feel afraid, my perfect love will cast out fear. I promise you that I have plans for you, plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Your story is not over. Your best days are not behind you. Even if you're in the middle of the darkest chapter you've ever experienced, I am already writing the pages that will show how this darkness gives way to dawn, how this valley leads to mountaintops, how this winter prepares the ground for an abundant spring. The fire beside us burns steady and bright, its flames reaching upward like prayers, its warmth surrounding us like an embrace. Let these promises settle into your heart like glowing embers, warming you from the inside out, giving you light for the path ahead. These are not just beautiful words. They are living realities that you can depend on, anchor points that will hold you steady no matter what storms may come. I promise you that no weapon formed against you will prosper. The enemy may attack, circumstances may be difficult, people may disappoint you, but nothing can ultimately harm you because you are under my protection. I am your shield, your fortress, your high tower. In me, you are safe, not from all difficulty, but safe in the midst of difficulty, protected not from all pain, but comforted in pain, strengthened not to avoid all struggles, but to overcome them. I promise you that you will bear fruit in your season. The investments you've made in love, the seeds of kindness you've planted, the faith you've exercised even when it felt small and weak, none of it has been wasted. In the right season, at the right time, you will see the harvest. Lives will be touched because of your influence. Hearts will be healed because of your compassion. Hope will be kindled because of your faithfulness. You may not see it all in this lifetime, but nothing done in love is ever lost. These promises are your inheritance, beloved child. They belong to you not because you've earned them, but because you are mine. Write them on your heart. Hide them in your mind. Speak them over yourself when doubt tries to creep in. They are more reliable than the law of gravity, more certain than the rising of the sun, more permanent than the mountains themselves. Chapter 12. The Shepherd's Constant Care. As these promises settle deep into your spirit like warm honey, I want to paint for you a picture that will comfort you for the rest of your days, an image that will remind you of how tenderly I care for you, how attentively I watch over every detail of your life. I want you to see yourself as you truly are, my sheep, and me as your good shepherd, the one who knows you by name, who has counted every hair on your head, who would leave the 99 to search for you if you wandered away. Picture yourself in a vast green meadow, so beautiful it takes your breath away. The grass is thick and soft beneath your feet, emerald green and rich with nutrients. Wildflowers dot the landscape in splashes of color, purple lupines, golden sunflowers, delicate white daisies dancing in the gentle breeze. This is the pasture I have prepared for you, a place of abundance, of plenty, of perfect provision for every need you have. See me there with you, staff in hand, watching over you with eyes full of love and protection. I know exactly where the best grass grows, where the sweetest water flows, where the shade is deepest when the sun grows hot. I'm not a distant manager giving orders from afar. I'm right here with you, leading you to places of nourishment and rest, guiding you away from hidden dangers you can't even see. When you lie down in those green pastures, you don't have to worry about predators lurking nearby. I am your protector, your guardian, your defense against every threat. My presence is your peace. My vigilance is your security. My strength is your shield. You can rest completely knowing that while you sleep, I keep watch. While you're vulnerable, I'm vigilant. While you're at peace, I'm on guard. And when it's time to move to new pastures, to fresh places of growth and nourishment, I don't drive you harshly or force you to go where you don't want to go. I lead you gently, calling your name in a voice you recognize, speaking to your heart in ways that make you want to follow. Because you trust me, because you know my voice, because you've experienced my goodness, you come willingly, eagerly, knowing that wherever I lead you will be good. Sometimes the path leads through valleys, doesn't it? Dark valleys where the shadows are long and the way seems uncertain. But even there, especially there, I am with you. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. The rod to protect you from enemies, the staff to guide you when the path is unclear, to lift you up when you stumble, to draw you close when you're afraid. You don't have to fear the darkness because I know the way through it. You don't have to dread the valley because I've walked it before you, and I'll walk it with you. When we emerge from those valleys, when we climb to higher ground, I prepare a feast for you right in the sight of those who would harm you. I set a table before you spread with everything you need, not just to survive but to thrive, to celebrate, to rejoice. I anoint your head with oil, pouring out blessing upon blessing, favor upon favor. Your cup runs over with my goodness, my mercy, my abundant provision. This is how I care for you, beloved sheep of my pasture, not grudgingly, not sparingly, but lavishly, abundantly, with joy and delight. You are not just one of many. You are precious to me, valuable beyond measure, worth the ultimate sacrifice I made to bring you home. And surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, not as distant possibilities, but as constant companions, as faithful friends who never leave your side. Chapter 13. Entering Deep Rest. My precious child, as the fire burns lower and the room grows even more peaceful around us, I can see that your body and spirit are ready for the deepest kind of rest, the kind that doesn't just refresh your body but restores your soul, renews your mind, and reconnects you with the deepest places of peace within your heart. You've traveled far tonight, from anxiety to peace, from burden to freedom, from doubt to confidence in my love. Now it's time to let all of that journey settle into rest. Feel how heavy your limbs have become, how your muscles have released their grip on tension, how your breathing has become slow and deep and natural. This is what your body was designed for, not the constant state of alert readiness that stress creates, but this gentle, trusting relaxation that comes from knowing you are completely safe, completely loved, completely cared for. Let your eyelids grow even heavier now, so heavy that keeping them open would require effort you don't need to exert. Behind your closed eyes, there's no need to see anything but the gentle glow of the fire, the warm light of my presence that surrounds you like a cocoon of love. This light is not harsh or demanding. It's soft and golden and infinitely comforting, the kind of light that makes everything beautiful, everything peaceful, everything right. I want you to imagine now that you're sinking deeper into your chair, deeper into comfort, deeper into my embrace. It's as if the chair itself is made of clouds, soft and supportive and perfectly fitted to your body. With each breath you take, you sink a little deeper, become a little more relaxed, move a little further from the cares of the day and a little closer to the perfect rest I have prepared for you. Your mind, which has been so busy, so active, so full of thoughts and worries and plans, is finally beginning to slow down. Thoughts float through your consciousness now like leaves drifting slowly down from trees in autumn, present but peaceful, visible but not demanding attention. You don't need to grab onto these thoughts or analyze them or worry about them. You can simply let them drift by, gentle and harmless, while your mind settles into the quiet stillness that is its natural state when stress is absent. The fire crackles softly, a sound that's becoming like a lullaby, like the gentlest music, like the rhythm of my own heart beating with love for you. Let that sound carry you deeper into rest, deeper into peace, deeper into the place where healing happens, where restoration occurs, where your spirit connects with mine in ways that transcend words and thoughts and conscious awareness. You're safe here, completely safe. Safer than you've ever been anywhere else, more protected than any earthly security could make you, more loved than any human love could love you. This safety isn't dependent on circumstances being perfect or life being easy. This safety comes from being in relationship with the one who holds all circumstances in his hands, who works through all of life's difficulties to bring about good, who loves you with a love that nothing can diminish or destroy. As you rest here in this perfect safety, your body begins the deep work of restoration and healing. Your cells renew themselves, your nervous system recalibrates to peace instead of stress, your heart finds its natural rhythm of calm and steady beating. This is when the real healing happens, when your guard is down, when you're not trying to control or manage or fix anything, when you're simply resting in my care and letting me do the work that only I can do. Your spirit, that eternal part of you that connects with me, is also finding its rest now. Not the sleep of unconsciousness, but the deep, abiding rest of a soul that knows its home, that's finally found its way back to the place where it belongs, where it's understood and accepted and cherished beyond measure. Chapter 14. The Night Watch. As you drift deeper into this sacred rest, your breathing becoming softer, your heartbeat slowing to the gentle rhythm of perfect peace, I want you to know that your journey into sleep is not a journey you take alone. While your consciousness fades and your awareness of the external world diminishes, my awareness of you only grows more tender, more protective, more lovingly attentive. I am your night watchman, and my vigil over you never wavers. In the ancient world, cities employed watchmen to stand guard through the dark hours, to keep their eyes open when others slept, to sound the alarm if danger approached. But their watch was limited by human frailty. They grew tired, they sometimes dozed at their posts. They could be overpowered by enemies. My watch over you is different. I neither slumber nor sleep. My eyes never grow heavy. My attention never wanders. My strength never fails. I am the eternal watchman, and you are always safe under my protection. As you begin to lose conscious awareness of this room, of the fire, even of my voice speaking these words, I want you to carry with you the knowledge that I am transitioning from speaking to you to watching over you. My care doesn't diminish when you can no longer hear my words. It intensifies. My love doesn't fade when you're no longer consciously aware of it. It deepens. My presence doesn't withdraw when your mind enters the realm of dreams. It draws even closer. Picture my presence now as a gentle light that surrounds your sleeping form, not bright enough to disturb your rest, but constant enough to dispel any darkness that might try to approach. This light is like a protective shield, a boundary that nothing harmful can cross. In this light there is no room for nightmares, no space for anxiety, no place for fear to take root. Only peace dwells here, only love, only the perfect safety that comes from being held by hands that will never let you go. While you sleep, I am working in ways you cannot see or understand. I am healing places in your heart that have been wounded, restoring areas of your soul that have been depleted, renewing parts of your mind that have been exhausted by worry and stress. This healing happens in the deep places beneath consciousness, where my spirit communes with your spirit in a language that transcends words. I am also standing guard over your dreams, filtering what enters your sleeping mind, allowing only what is good and helpful and healing to take root in your subconscious. The enemy would love to torment you, even in your sleep, to fill your dreams with fear and confusion and despair. But he cannot reach you here. You are under my protection, and I determine what has access to your sleeping thoughts. If you should wake during the night, and many do, for sleep often comes in gentle waves rather than one deep plunge, know that I am there in the waking, just as I am in the sleeping. You don't need to be alarmed or frustrated if sleep seems to elude you for a while. Simply return your thoughts to this place, to this fireplace, to the memory of my voice speaking peace over you. Remember that you are safe, you are loved, and you are being watched over by the one who never grows weary. The hours of the night will pass like gentle guardians, each one carrying you deeper into restoration, each one bringing you closer to the dawn of a new day. And when morning comes, when the first light begins to filter through your windows, I will be there too. I will be the one who gently calls you back to wakefulness, who welcomes you to a new day with the same love that watched over you through the night. For now, though, there is only this: the deep, peaceful darkness of restorative sleep, the quiet rhythm of your breathing, the steady beating of your heart, and my constant, loving presence surrounding it all, like the warmest, softest blanket ever woven. You are held, you are safe, you are profoundly and eternally loved. Chapter 15. The Dawn of New Mercies. My most beloved child, as you float now in that peaceful space between wakefulness and sleep, suspended in the gentle embrace of perfect rest, I want to speak one final blessing over you, words that will accompany you into the deepest places of slumber and remain with you when you wake to greet the new day. You have journeyed far tonight, from the anxiety and burden that brought you to this fireside, to the peace and rest that now cradles your weary soul. Tomorrow will dawn with new mercies, fresh grace, renewed strength for whatever challenges or joys it may bring. But tonight, those concerns are far away, held safely in my hands while you rest in my arms. Sleep now with the confidence of a child who knows they are cherished, protected, and provided for in every way that matters. As you have found comfort and healing in these words tonight, as you have experienced the peace that comes from knowing you are truly and unconditionally loved, my heart is filled with such joy for you and such compassion for all the other weary souls who desperately need the same gift of rest. There are so many people lying awake tonight, just as you were, carrying burdens too heavy for their hearts to bear, listening to lies about their worth, feeling alone in their struggles. These precious ones need to hear my voice speaking tenderly to their hearts just as you have heard it tonight. They need to know that there is a place of refuge available to them, a sanctuary where they can lay down their burdens and find the rest their souls have been craving. They need to discover what you have discovered, that true peace doesn't depend on having perfect circumstances, but on knowing they are held by perfect love. If these words have touched something deep within your spirit tonight, if you have felt the gentle healing that comes from being truly seen and unconditionally accepted, would you consider becoming a messenger of this same hope to others who need it? Not as a burden or obligation, but as the natural overflow of a heart that has been filled to overflowing with grace. Sometimes that might mean sharing words like these with someone who is struggling. Other times it might simply mean living with such peace and rest in your own life that others are drawn to ask about the source of your serenity, your own journey from weariness to rest, your own experience of having burdens lifted and peace restored becomes a beacon of hope for others who are still lost in the storm. You don't need to have everything figured out or be perfect in any way. You just need to be willing to point others toward the same source of comfort that has brought such healing to your own heart tonight. Let your life become a living testimony to the reality that peace is possible, that rest is available, that no one has to carry their burdens alone. Let the transformation that is happening in your own heart spill over into every relationship, every conversation, every moment of connection with another human being. This is how my kingdom of peace spreads. Through hearts that have been healed, sharing that healing with hearts that are still wounded. Through souls that have found rest, offering that same rest to souls that are still restless. The fire has burned down to glowing embers now, providing just enough warmth and light to remind you of my constant presence without disturbing the deep peace that has settled over you like the gentlest snow. Your breathing has become so soft, so natural, so perfectly aligned with the rhythm of trust and surrender. Your body rests completely, your mind has found its stillness, and your spirit dwells in the secret place of the Most High. Sleep now, my precious child. Sleep in the certainty that you are loved beyond measure, cherished beyond words, and held in arms that will never let you go. Sleep knowing that every promise I have spoken over you tonight is true, that every word of love is genuine, that every assurance of my presence is absolutely reliable. Sleep with the confidence that comes from knowing your identity is secure, your future is bright, and your place in my heart is permanent and unshakable. And when you wake, whether in the deep hours of night or in the gentle light of morning, remember that you are waking to the same love that watched over you while you slept, the same grace that will strengthen you for whatever the new day brings, the same peace that will be your constant companion through every moment of every day that follows. Sweet dreams, beloved one. Rest well in the arms of perfect love. Until we meet again by the fire of my presence, know that you are mine, you are loved, and you are never, ever alone. As you rest in the deepest chambers of peace, my beloved child, I want to take you on a gentle journey to another sacred place where my presence flows like living water, washing away every remaining trace of weariness from your soul. Even as you sleep, your spirit can walk with me beside waters that never run dry, streams that carry healing in their flow, rivers that sing lullabies of love over your resting heart. Picture yourself walking slowly, peacefully, along the bank of a crystal-clear river that flows through the most beautiful landscape you've ever seen. The water is so pure that you can see all the way to the bottom, where smooth stones of every color catch and reflect the gentle light. This river is fed by springs that bubble up from the very heart of heaven, carrying with them the essence of my love, my peace, my joy, my healing power. The sound of this water is like the most beautiful music you've ever heard, a symphony of peace that speaks directly to your soul without need for words. As you listen to its gentle murmuring, you feel every anxiety, every fear, every worry being washed away from your mind like dust being rinsed from a precious jewel. The music of this water is the sound of my voice when I speak peace over troubled hearts, when I whisper comfort to those who mourn, when I sing healing over wounded souls. Kneel down beside this river now and cup some of its life-giving water in your hands. As you drink, feel it flowing through your entire being, not just quenching your physical thirst, but satisfying the deepest longings of your heart. This is the water I promised to the woman at the well, the living water that becomes a spring welling up to eternal life within you. Once you've tasted this water, you'll never thirst again for the empty pleasures and shallow comforts the world offers. See how the river flows without effort, without strain, following the course that has been carved for it through the landscape of eternity. This is how I want your life to flow, beloved child. Not rushed or forced or anxious, but with the gentle, persistent power of water that always finds its way, always reaches its destination, always brings life wherever it goes. Like this river, you don't have to create the path. You only have to trust the one who has prepared the way and follow where love leads. Along the banks of this river grow trees unlike any you've seen on earth. Their roots go deep into the life-giving soil. Their branches reach high toward the light, and their leaves remain green in every season. These trees bear fruit every month, not because they strain and struggle, but because they're connected to the source of all life. This is what your life can be like when you learn to draw your strength from me, when you sink your roots deep into my love, when you allow my life to flow through you like this river flows through the landscape. Wade into the water now, feeling its perfect temperature against your skin, neither too hot nor too cold, but exactly what your body needs. As you step deeper, the water rises around you, supporting you, buoying you up with its gentle strength. This is what it means to be baptized into my peace, to be immersed in my love so completely that every part of you is touched by grace. Every cell of your being is infused with life. Float on your back now in this holy water, looking up at a sky painted with the soft colors of eternal sunset, gentle purples and pinks and golds that never fade, never give way to darkness, because this is the place where I am the light, where night never comes, where peace reigns forever. The water holds you perfectly, requiring no effort from you to stay afloat. This is how my grace works in your life, supporting you even when you don't realize it, carrying you through difficulties you thought you couldn't survive, keeping you safe when you felt like you were drowning. Chapter 17. The Garden of Forgiveness. My precious child, as you float peacefully on the river of my love, let the gentle current carry you to another sacred space I want to show you. It's a garden unlike any other, where the most beautiful flowers grow not in spite of pain, but because of it. This is the Garden of Forgiveness, where every wound becomes a doorway to deeper compassion, where every hurt transforms into healing for others, where the soil is enriched by tears and the blooms are watered by grace. As you step from the river onto the soft grass of this garden, notice how your feet make no sound, how every step feels like walking on clouds. The air here is filled with the sweetest fragrance, not overwhelming but gentle and comforting, like the scent of love itself made tangible. This fragrance comes from flowers that grow only where forgiveness has taken root, where hearts have chosen to release rather than retain, to bless rather than blame. See there, growing in the center of the garden, a magnificent tree whose trunk bears the scars of many storms, yet stands stronger than ever. This is the tree of your own life, beloved child, and every scar tells a story of survival, of grace, of love's power to heal what seemed irreparably broken. The lightning strikes that should have destroyed it only made it more beautiful, more resilient, more capable of providing shade and shelter for others who need a safe place to rest. Walk with me now to a special section of this garden, where we've planted together the flowers of forgiveness. Some for others who have hurt you, some for yourself, for the ways you've fallen short of who you wanted to be. See how beautiful these flowers are, how they shine with an inner light that makes them more radiant than any earthly bloom. Each one represents a choice you've made to release rather than retain, to let go rather than hold on to pain that was poisoning your soul. Here is the flower that grew when you forgave the friend who betrayed your trust. See how its petals shimmer with the light of freedom, how its roots have grown deep and strong. That act of forgiveness didn't excuse what was done to you, but it freed you from carrying the weight of bitterness that would have crushed your spirit under its burden. And look how this one flower has produced seeds that have blown throughout the garden, creating new blooms of compassion and understanding wherever they've taken root. And there, in that quiet corner, is the flower that bloomed when you finally forgave yourself for that mistake that haunted you for so long. Its petals are soft and gentle, colored with the hues of mercy and grace. This flower took the longest to grow, didn't it? It's often harder to extend forgiveness to ourselves than to others. But see how beautiful it became once you allowed my love to convince you that you are not the sum of your failures, that your worth is not determined by your worst moments. Notice how every flower in this garden glows with its own unique light, yet together they create a symphony of illumination that banishes all shadows, all darkness, all despair. This is what forgiveness does. It doesn't just heal individual wounds, but it creates an atmosphere of grace that affects everything around it. Your choice to forgive has changed not just your own heart, but has sent ripples of healing into relationships, families, communities, that may never know they were touched by your grace. Sit with me now on the marble bench in the center of this garden, feeling the warmth of the stone beneath you warmed by the eternal sunshine of my love. Rest here among these flowers of forgiveness, breathing in their healing fragrance, letting their light soak into your skin like gentle sunbeams. This garden exists within your heart now, and you can return here anytime you need to remember the power of grace, the beauty of release, the freedom that comes from choosing love over bitterness. Some people think forgiveness makes you weak, that choosing not to retaliate makes you a victim. But you know better now, don't you? You've seen how forgiveness is actually the greatest strength, how it takes tremendous courage to release your right to revenge, how it requires divine power to bless those who have cursed you. The flowers in this garden are proof of your strength, evidence of your courage, testimony to the divine life that flows through you. Chapter 18. The Mountain of Perspective. From the peaceful garden of forgiveness, my beloved child, I want to take you higher still, to a place where you can see your life from my perspective, where the struggles that seem so overwhelming from ground level reveal their true size when viewed from the heights of eternal love. Follow me now up a gently winding path that leads to the top of a great mountain, each step carrying you further from the noise of worry and closer to the clarity that comes from seeing things as I see them. The path is smooth and easy, requiring no strain or effort from your sleeping body. For this is a journey of the spirit, a climb that happens in the realm of faith rather than flesh. With each step upward, you feel lighter, freer, more connected to the eternal perspective that puts all temporal troubles in their proper place. The air grows cleaner as we climb, purer, filled with the breath of heaven itself. As we ascend, notice how the concerns that seemed so enormous when you were down in the valley begin to shrink in size. That financial worry that kept you awake so many nights? From this height you can see how temporary it is, how I've already begun working on solutions you can't yet perceive. That relationship conflict that felt so impossible to resolve? Up here, you can see the path to reconciliation that love will create, the healing that grace will accomplish in its perfect timing. Reach the summit now and stand beside me on this high place, feeling the solid rock beneath your feet, rock that has stood unmoved for millennia, that has weathered every storm, every earthquake, every attempt to shake its foundation. This rock represents my faithfulness, my unchanging love for you, the unshakable foundation upon which your life is built. No matter what winds blow or waters rise, this foundation holds firm. From this mountain peak, you can see for vast distances in every direction. Look back over the path you've traveled through your life and see how every valley, every difficult passage, every seemingly impossible climb has led you to exactly where you need to be. The detours you thought were mistakes were actually divine redirections. The delays you found so frustrating were actually perfect timing. The closed doors you mourned were actually protection from paths that would have led you away from your destiny. See there in the distance the beautiful landscape that stretches before you. Not an ending, but a new beginning. Fresh territories of blessing and growth and adventure that I have prepared for you. You can't see all the details from here, and that's by design. I give you just enough light for the next step, just enough vision for the next season, just enough grace for the next challenge. This isn't because I want to keep you in suspense, but because I want to keep you in relationship, walking with me day by day, trusting me step by step. Up here on this mountain of perspective, the noise from below can't reach you. The clamoring voices of the world that demand your attention, create your anxiety, and steal your peace. They're all too distant to be heard above the wind of my spirit that blows across this high place. Here, there is only the sound of my voice, gentle and clear, speaking words of love and guidance directly to your heart. Breathe in this rarefied air of divine perspective. Let it fill your lungs and oxygenate every cell of your being with the reality of how loved you are, how guided you are, how protected you are. This view, this perspective, this understanding of your life from the eternal vantage point, this is a gift I want you to carry with you always. When you wake tomorrow and re-enter the valley of daily life, remember this mountain. Remember this view. Remember that what seems impossible from below looks perfectly manageable from above. The stars above us shine with unusual brightness at this altitude, each one a reminder of my faithfulness, my promises that never fail, my love that never dims. You are one of those stars, beloved child, shining with my light in a dark world, providing hope and guidance for others who are still making their way up the mountain. Your life, viewed from this eternal perspective, is so much more beautiful and meaningful than you've ever dared to believe. Chapter 19. The Chamber of Identity. Beloved child, as we rest on this mountain peak under the canopy of eternal stars, I want to take you into the most sacred space of all, the hidden chamber of your truest identity. the secret place where your soul knows who you really are when all the masks are removed and all the performances end. This chamber exists in the deepest part of your spirit, and it's accessible only to you and me. A private sanctuary where truth dwells undisturbed by the opinions of others or the lies of the enemy. Step with me now through a doorway made of pure light, into a circular room whose walls seem to be made of living gold, warm and pulsing with divine life. This gold is not cold metal, but the very essence of my glory, my love, my acceptance made visible. The light here doesn't hurt your eyes even though it's brighter than any earthly illumination, because this is the light of truth, and truth always brings comfort to those who are ready to receive it. In the center of this chamber stands a mirror unlike any other. Not a reflective surface that shows you your external appearance, but a mirror of the heart that reveals your spiritual reality, your true identity in me. Approach this mirror now and look into it, not with the critical eye you've learned from the world, but with the loving gaze of one who is beloved, cherished, and accepted without condition. See yourself as I see you, not through the distorted lens of past failures or present struggles, but through the clear vision of perfect love. In this mirror, you don't see your flaws highlighted and magnified. You see your heart, beautiful in its desire to love and be loved. You see your spirit radiant with my light, crowned with dignity and honor. You see your potential, not what you lack, but what you possess, not what you failed to become, but what you're becoming through grace. Look deeper into this mirror and see the names written across your reflection in script of living light. Beloved, chosen, precious, daughter, son, friend, heir, conqueror, overcomer. These aren't aspirational titles you're trying to earn. These are your present reality, your current identity, your true names that nothing can change or diminish. The world may call you by other names, names that wound and diminish and discourage, but those are not your real names. These names written in light are who you really are. Around the walls of this chamber hang portraits, not of your failures and mistakes, but of your finest moments, the times when my life shone through you most clearly. Here is the picture of you comforting a friend in their darkest hour. There is the image of you choosing kindness when you could have chosen revenge. See the portrait of you persevering through difficulty when quitting would have been easier. These are your truest moments when the real you, my beloved child, showed through despite all the fear and doubt that usually clouds your vision of yourself. In one corner of the chamber sits a beautiful chest, ornately carved and inlaid with precious stones. Inside this chest are kept all the love letters I've written to you throughout your life. Every sunset that took your breath away was a love note. Every unexpected blessing was a gift wrapped in my affection. Every moment of peace you've experienced was a whisper of my devotion. Open this chest now and feel the warmth of all this accumulated love, all these messages of affection that you may have missed or dismissed, but that I've been sending constantly. The floor of this chamber is covered with the richest carpet, woven from threads of every experience you've had. The bright golden threads of joy and celebration interwoven with the deeper purple threads of sorrow and loss. The silver threads of ordinary days mixed with the crimson threads of passionate love and sacrifice. From a distance, this carpet looks like chaos, like random colors with no pattern. But from this perspective, this divine vantage point, you can see how every thread contributes to a masterpiece of breathtaking beauty. This chamber is your true home, beloved child. This is where your soul lives, when it's not distracted by the noise and demands of the external world. You can return here anytime, in prayer, in worship, in quiet moments of remembering who you are. And every time you return, you'll find this mirror reflecting the same truth, these names shining with the same light, this love remaining constant and unchanging no matter what storms rage outside. In the sacred chamber of your identity, my precious child, there is one more gift I want to give you before we journey deeper into the restorative sleep your body craves and your soul needs. It is the gift of song, not a melody you sing with your voice, but the song that your very existence sings in the courts of heaven. The music that your life creates simply by being who you are, my beloved child. Listen now with the ears of your spirit, and you'll hear it. A beautiful, complex symphony that has been playing since the moment I first thought of you. It's your song, unique in all the universe, a melody that could only come from your particular combination of dreams and struggles, hopes and fears, triumphs and defeats. Every note of this song is precious to me, even the minor keys that speak of sorrow, even the discordant sounds that represent times of struggle and confusion. The opening movement of your song began in the hidden places before you were born, when I was knitting you together in secret, when I was dreaming of who you would become, what you would accomplish, how you would touch the world with your unique brand of love. Even then, before you took your first breath, your song was already beautiful to me, already perfect in its potential, already loved beyond measure. As your life began, and you took your first steps into this world, new movements were added to your song. The melody of your childhood innocence, the harmony of your first acts of love and kindness, the rhythm of your growing heart, learning to trust and hope and believe. Even when you couldn't hear the music yourself, even when life felt chaotic and meaningless, your song continued to play in heaven, beautiful and treasured and celebrated by all who love you. The more complex movements came as you grew older, and life became more complicated. The song incorporated themes of struggle and perseverance, variations on the melody of grace that carried you through difficulties you thought would destroy you. The sections where the music seemed to falter, where the tempo slowed and the notes seemed uncertain, these weren't flaws in the composition. These were the movements that gave your song its depth, its richness, its power to comfort others who would hear similar themes in their own life songs. Right now, as you rest here in this sacred space, your song is playing one of its most beautiful movements, the lullaby of peace, the gentle melody of rest, the harmony of a soul finally coming home to the love that has been waiting patiently for this moment of surrender. This part of your song is so beautiful that angels pause in their own worship to listen, so moving that heaven itself grows quiet to hear the music of a weary child, finally finding rest in their father's arms. But your song is far from over, beloved child. Tomorrow will bring new verses, new harmonies, new opportunities for the music of your life to touch the hearts of others who need to hear that hope is possible, that healing is real, that love never fails. Some of the most beautiful movements of your song are yet to be composed, written in collaboration between your willing heart and my infinite grace. And even now, as you prepare to drift into the deeper chambers of sleep, your song continues to play. It becomes softer, gentler, like a lullaby sung over a beloved child who is safe and warm and completely at peace. The sleeping movement of your song is just as beautiful as the more active movements, just as important, just as treasured by the one who loves you. The other instruments in heaven's orchestra, the songs of all my other children, blend with yours to create a symphony of such beauty that it defies description. Your individual melody doesn't get lost in this great chorus. It becomes more beautiful, more itself, as it harmonizes with the songs of others who have found their way home to love. This is what true community looks like, what authentic relationship creates. Not the silencing of individual voices, but the blending of unique songs into something even more magnificent than any could be alone. Sleep now to the sound of your own song, beloved child. Let its familiar melody carry you into the deepest rest. Let its gentle rhythm become the pace of your breathing. Let its harmonies fill your dreams with peace and hope and joy. You are the music that brings me joy, the song that makes my heart glad, the melody that I will treasure for all eternity. Chapter 21, The River of Dreams. As your beautiful song lullabies you deeper into the realm of rest, my beloved child, I want to guide you to the banks of another sacred river, the river of dreams, where your sleeping mind will be washed clean of anxiety and filled instead with visions of hope, healing, and divine love. This river flows through the landscape of sleep, carrying away the debris of worry and bringing fresh streams of peace to water the garden of your subconscious mind. Unlike earthly rivers that can be turbulent and dangerous, this river of dreams flows with perfect gentleness, its waters crystal clear and warm, infused with the essence of my peace. As you approach its banks, you can hear it singing, a wordless melody that speaks directly to your spirit, a song that your soul recognizes as the sound of home, of safety, of unconditional love flowing endlessly toward you. Wade into these healing waters now, feeling them rise around you with perfect warmth, neither too hot nor too cold, but exactly what your weary spirit needs. As the water touches your skin, it carries away more than physical tension. It washes away the accumulated stress of the day, the residual anxiety that has been clinging to your thoughts, the fear that has been whispering lies about tomorrow's challenges. Let yourself float in this river now, completely supported by its gentle current. You don't need to swim or struggle or work to stay afloat. The very nature of this water is to hold you up, to carry you safely toward the peaceful shores of restorative sleep. As you float, feel how your body becomes lighter, how your mind grows quieter, how your spirit settles into the perfect rest that comes from knowing you are completely safe, completely loved, completely cared for. The river carries you slowly, gently, past landscapes of beauty that exist only in the realm of divine dreams. Here you see meadows of flowers that never fade, their petals glowing with soft light that speaks of eternal spring. There you glimpse forests where every tree stands straight and strong, their roots deep in the soil of my faithfulness, their branches reaching toward the light of my love. These are the visions I want to fill your dreams, not the anxious imaginings that have troubled your sleep before, but peaceful pictures that remind you of the beauty and goodness that surround your life. As the river flows, it passes through a tunnel of light, not harsh or blinding, but soft and golden like candlelight or firelight, warm and comforting and infinitely safe. This tunnel represents the passage from conscious worry into unconscious peace, from the realm where you feel responsible for everything into the realm where I am responsible, and you can simply rest. The light in this tunnel comes from my presence, illuminating the way forward, ensuring that no darkness can follow you into the peaceful country of dreams. Emerging from the tunnel, the river opens into a vast, calm lake, whose surface reflects not your fears, but your hopes, not your failures, but your potential, not your wounds, but your healing. This lake is the deep place of restorative sleep, where the healing that your conscious mind cannot accomplish happens naturally, effortlessly, as a gift of grace to those who trust enough to let go completely. Float to the center of this lake now, where the water is deepest and most still. Here, in the profound quiet, your body can do its healing work, uninterrupted by worry or stress. Your cells can repair themselves. Your nervous system can recalibrate to peace. Your heart can find its natural rhythm of rest and restoration. This is when the real miracle of sleep occurs. Not just the absence of wakefulness, but the presence of divine restoration, the gift of grace that renews you from the inside out. The stars above this lake shine with unusual brightness, each one a promise I've made to you, a word of love spoken over your life. Their light reflects on the calm surface of the water, creating a canopy of beauty above and below, surrounding you with reminders of my faithfulness that never dims, my love that never fades, my care that never fails. In this place, even your dreams are protected by the light of my promises, guided by the gentle current of my spirit. Chapter 22. The Valley of Restoration. From the peaceful lake of deep rest, my beloved child, allow the gentle current to carry you into an even more sacred space, the Valley of Restoration, where healing happens at the deepest levels, where wounds that have ached for years finally find their balm, where broken places are made whole not by human effort, but by the supernatural power of love. This valley exists in the hidden places of your spirit, accessible only through surrender, through trust, through the complete letting go that comes in the deepest moments of rest. This valley is sheltered on all sides by mountains of my protection, creating a natural sanctuary where the harsh winds of the world cannot reach, where the noise of anxiety cannot penetrate, where only peace dwells. The floor of the valley is carpeted with the softest grass, each blade tenderly cared for, each root drawing its life from springs of living water that bubble up from the very heart of heaven. As you rest in this valley, supported by the earth that knows your name, cradled by the landscape of love, feel how different your body is from when you first sat down by the fire so long ago tonight. The tension has melted away completely, leaving your muscles soft and loose and perfectly relaxed. Your breathing has become so gentle, so natural, so perfectly aligned with the rhythm of peace that it barely disturbs the air around you. But the restoration happening here goes far deeper than physical relaxation. In this valley, the wounded places of your heart are being touched by healing power that flows like gentle streams through every corridor of your spirit. That old hurt from childhood that you thought had healed but still ached sometimes? Feel it being washed clean by waters of comfort that reach into places you didn't even know were still tender. The disappointment that carved such deep grooves in your hope? Watch as those grooves are filled with the gold of divine grace, making the broken places more beautiful than they ever were when whole. The restoration in this valley is not violent or sudden, but gentle and gradual, like the way dawn slowly lightens the sky, like the way spring gradually awakens the earth, like the way love patiently wins over even the most guarded heart. You don't have to do anything to help this healing along. You don't have to understand it or analyze it or even believe in it consciously. You only have to rest and allow love to do what love does best, make all things new. Feel how your mind, which has been so busy, so anxious, so full of thoughts that spin in circles without resolution, is finally finding its natural state of calm. In this valley of restoration, the worried thoughts that have plagued you for so long lose their power to disturb your peace. They become like clouds that pass overhead without casting shadows, like birds that fly by without landing, like distant thunder that poses no threat to your safety. The dreams that come to you in this valley are different from ordinary dreams. They are not the confused jumble of the day's events or the anxious imaginings of future troubles. Instead, they are gentle visions of hope, peaceful pictures that remind you of your belovedness, comforting scenes that speak to the deepest longings of your heart. Sometimes they are memories of moments when you felt most loved, most accepted, most at peace. Sometimes they are glimpses of the beautiful future I have planned for you, previews of the joy and fulfillment that await you. The air in this valley is different too, cleaner, purer, charged with the very breath of life itself. Every breath you take here fills you not just with oxygen, but with the essence of my presence, the life-giving power that sustains all creation and holds your own precious life in perfect safety. This air carries away the last traces of stress chemicals from your bloodstream, replacing them with the natural peace that comes from knowing you are home, you are safe, you are loved. Time moves differently in this valley of restoration. Minutes might pass like hours or hours like minutes. It doesn't matter because time here is measured not by clocks but by the rhythm of grace, the gentle pace of healing love that knows exactly how long each process takes and never rushes, never delays, never fails to accomplish its perfect work in its perfect time. Chapter 23, The Garden of Tomorrow. In the heart of the Valley of Restoration, my precious child, there grows a special garden that I want to show you while you rest in this perfect peace. It is the Garden of Tomorrow, where the seeds of your future are already planted, already growing, already beginning to show the first tender shoots of the beautiful life that awaits you. This garden is tended not by your worry or your planning, but by my faithful love that works even while you sleep, to prepare good things for your days ahead. As you approach this garden, still floating in the deep peace of surrendered rest, notice how different it feels from any earthly garden. The soil here is rich with hope instead of mere earth, watered by springs of grace rather than rain, warmed by the light of my promises rather than temporal sunshine. Every plant growing here represents something beautiful that is coming into your life, not because you've earned it, but because love delights in giving good gifts to beloved children. See there, just beginning to break through the soil, the tender green shoots of new opportunities I'm preparing for you. You can't see their full form yet, can't imagine what these opportunities will look like when they reach their full growth, but they're already alive, already growing, already part of your future. Some are career opportunities that will use your gifts in ways that bring both provision and joy. Others are relationship opportunities that will bring deep connection and mutual blessing. All of them are touched by my hand, guided by my wisdom, timed by my perfect love. Over here, growing strong and healthy, are the fruit trees of answered prayer. Their roots go deep into the soil of my faithfulness, their branches heavy with the fruit of petitions you've brought to me over the years. Some of these prayers you thought I hadn't heard, some you assumed I had answered no to, some you had almost forgotten about. But see how they've been growing all along, developing in my perfect timing, preparing to bring exactly what you need exactly when you need it. In the center of the garden stands a magnificent tree unlike any other, the tree of your destiny, your God-given purpose, your unique calling in this world. Its trunk is strong and straight, grown from the soil of your experiences, both joyful and difficult. Its branches reach in all directions, representing the many ways your life will touch others, the countless people who will be blessed by your presence, your words, your love. The fruit of this tree is not for you alone, but for all those whose lives will intersect with yours in the beautiful tapestry of divine connection. Notice how this garden requires no anxious tending from you. You don't have to worry about whether the plants are getting enough water. They're fed by streams of living water that never run dry. You don't have to fear that weeds will choke them out. This soil is too pure, too protected, too blessed for anything harmful to take root. You don't have to be concerned about timing. Every plant knows exactly when to bloom, when to fruit, when to provide what is needed. Walk the peaceful paths of this garden now, observing without anxiety, appreciating without grasping, trusting without understanding. Some of the plants here might surprise you. They represent blessings you never thought to ask for, gifts you never imagined you could receive, joys you never dared to hope for. But I know what will make your heart most glad, what will bring you the deepest satisfaction, what will fulfill the longings you've carried sometimes without even knowing you carried them. The pathways in this garden lead to a beautiful arbor covered with flowering vines, creating a natural bower of peace where you can sit and rest while contemplating the goodness that surrounds your future. The flowers overhead provide the perfect amount of shade. The bench beneath you is exactly the right height and softness. The view in every direction shows nothing but beauty and abundance and hope. From this vantage point, you can see that this garden is actually part of a much larger landscape. It connects to other gardens, other areas of beauty and blessing that extend beyond what your eyes can take in. Your future is not isolated or limited. It's connected to the futures of others in ways that create a network of love and mutual blessing that spans generations, touches nations, changes the world one heart at a time. Rest here in this arbor of hope, beloved child, letting the fragrance of future blessings fill your senses, letting the sight of growing good things comfort your heart, letting the peace of knowing that tomorrow is in loving hands settle into your very bones. You don't have to earn these blessings, plan these blessings, or even understand these blessings. You only have to rest and trust and allow the gardener of your soul to tend the future with the same love that is caring for you right now. Chapter 24, The Chamber of Perfect Love. As you rest in the garden of tomorrow, surrounded by the growing promises of good things to come, my beloved child, I want to take you into the most sacred space of all, the Chamber of Perfect Love. The Holy of Holies, where you can experience the fullness of my affection for you without any barriers, any fears, any doubts to diminish its power. This chamber exists in the very center of my heart, and you have been invited to dwell here, not as a visitor, but as a permanent resident, as one who belongs here completely and forever. The doorway to this chamber is made not of wood or stone, but of pure acceptance, opening at the slightest touch of a surrendered heart. As you cross the threshold, still carried by the deep peace of perfect rest, feel how the very air changes around you. Here, there is no judgment, no condemnation, no disappointment. There is only love. Love so pure, so unconditional, so overwhelming that it takes your breath away and then breathes new life into your lungs. The walls of this chamber are alive with light, but not the harsh light of examination or exposure. This is the warm, golden light of approval, of delight, of a father who looks upon his beloved child and finds nothing but cause for joy. This light doesn't reveal your flaws to condemn them. It transforms them into unique characteristics that make you even more precious in my sight. Your sensitivity becomes a gift for understanding others' pain. Your struggles become sources of compassion for fellow travelers on the journey of faith. In the center of this chamber stands not a throne of judgment but a chair of communion, where I sit not as a distant deity, but as your closest friend, your most devoted companion, your most understanding confidant. The space beside me is always reserved for you, always waiting for you, never occupied by anyone else because no one else could fill the unique place you hold in my heart. Come, sit beside me now in this chair, designed specifically for our intimate moments together. Feel how perfectly this chair fits your body, how it seems to have been crafted with your exact measurements in mind, because it was. Every curve supports you exactly where you need support. Every cushion provides comfort precisely where you carry tension. Every armrest positions your hands in the perfect posture of receiving rather than striving. This is what it means to find your place in my heart. Everything about it fits you perfectly because it was made for you before you were born. As you settle into this chair of perfect communion, notice how your heartbeat begins to synchronize with mine, how your breathing falls into rhythm with the breath of the Spirit, how your very being resonates with the frequency of divine love. This is not forced or artificial. It's the most natural thing in the world, like two instruments being tuned to the same perfect pitch, like two friends who have walked together so long they naturally fall into step. Here in this chamber of perfect love, I want to tell you the secrets of my heart concerning you. Not secrets kept from you, but secrets I've been longing to share with you when you were quiet enough to hear them, peaceful enough to receive them, trusting enough to believe them. The first secret is this: your existence brings me joy, not your performance, not your achievements, not even your service to others, but simply the fact that you are. When I think of you, when I speak your name, when I remember that you are mine, my heart fills with the same delight a parent feels when looking upon their sleeping child. The second secret is that your struggles have never disappointed me. I have never looked at your failures and wished I had chosen someone else, never observed your weaknesses and regretted my investment in your life. Instead, every struggle has been an opportunity for me to demonstrate my faithfulness, every weakness a canvas for displaying my strength, every failure a chance to show the depths of my grace. You have not been a burden to carry, but a privilege to love. The third secret is that your future is more beautiful than you can imagine. You've been looking at your life through the lens of human limitation, seeing only what seems possible from where you stand now. But I see your life from the perspective of infinite possibility, unlimited grace, boundless love. The plans I have for you are not contingency plans, Not backup options, not consolation prizes. They are the desires of my heart for my beloved child, dreams I've been nurturing since before you were born. Rest deeper now in this chair of communion, letting these secrets sink into your spirit, like water absorbed by thirsty ground. Feel how they change something fundamental in your understanding of yourself, of your relationship with me, of your place in the grand story I'm writing with human history. You are not a minor character in this story. You are a beloved protagonist whose unique journey adds beauty and meaning to the whole narrative. The temperature in this chamber is perfect. Not too warm, not too cool, but exactly what your body needs to maintain the deepest possible state of rest. The air pressure is perfect, requiring no effort from your lungs to breathe easily and naturally. Even the acoustics are perfect, allowing you to hear my voice with crystal clarity while filtering out any sound that might disturb your peace. Everything here has been designed with your comfort in mind, prepared by love for the one who is loved. As you rest in this perfect environment, your body continues its deep work of restoration. Your immune system strengthens, your nervous system recalibrates to peace. Your endocrine system balances itself to the rhythms of grace rather than stress. Your brain processes the day's experiences, filing away what is useful and discarding what is harmful, creating space for new memories of love and peace and joy to take root. But most importantly, your spirit is being renewed in this chamber of perfect love. The parts of your soul that have been wounded by rejection are being healed by acceptance. The areas of your heart that have been hardened by disappointment are being softened by hope. The corners of your mind that have been darkened by lies are being illuminated by truth. This renewal happens not through your effort, but through your surrender. Not through your work, but through your rest. Chapter 25. The Eternal Embrace. In the depths of this chamber of perfect love, my most precious child, I want you to experience the fullness of what it means to be held by love that never lets go, never grows tired, never finds you too heavy a burden to bear. As you rest in the chair of communion, feel my arms surrounding you now, not with the desperate grip of human need, but with the secure embrace of divine love that holds you close, while still giving you perfect freedom to be yourself. This embrace is unlike any earthly hug you've ever received. Human embraces, beautiful as they are limited by the capacity of human love, influenced by human emotions, affected by human circumstances. But this embrace comes from a love that is infinite, unchanging, unconditional, and eternal. It surrounds not just your physical body, but your soul, your spirit, your very essence. You are held on every level of your being by love that knows no limits. Feel how this embrace reaches into the past and encompasses every moment of your life when you felt alone, unloved, or abandoned. Those times when you cried yourself to sleep as a child, wondering if anyone cared. I was there, holding you even when you couldn't feel it. Those seasons of your life when loneliness seemed like your constant companion. I was your truest companion, closer than your own breath. Those moments when you felt like you were drowning in sorrow or fear, I was the unseen hand that kept you afloat. This same embrace extends into your future, surrounding every day that is to come with the same unwavering love that holds you now. Tomorrow morning when you wake, this embrace will still be there. Next week when you face new challenges, these arms will still be around you. Next year when you encounter changes you can't yet imagine, this love will still be your constant. Even into eternity, when this earthly life is over and you transition into the fullness of heavenly reality, these same arms that hold you now will carry you home. In this eternal embrace, there is no fear of abandonment, because abandonment is impossible when you're held by the one who is faithful. There is no anxiety about the future because the same love that sustains you in this moment will sustain you in every moment to come. There is no worry about whether you're worthy of such love, because this love doesn't depend on your worthiness, but on my nature, which is love itself. Feel how this embrace doesn't diminish your identity, but enhances it. You don't lose yourself in this love. You find yourself more completely than ever before. This is not the suffocating grip of possessive love, but the liberating hold of perfect love that sets you free to become who you were truly meant to be. In these arms, you are safe to be vulnerable, free to be imperfect, encouraged to be authentic. The heartbeat you feel against your cheek as you rest in this embrace is the rhythm of all creation, the pulse that keeps stars in their courses and planets in their orbits, the beat that sustains all life and maintains all order in the universe. Yet this same cosmic heartbeat beats with particular tenderness for you, adjusts its rhythm to comfort your spirit, synchronizes with your own heart to bring you perfect peace. This embrace carries with it the fragrance of heaven, not overwhelming or artificial, but subtle and comforting. Like the scent of home itself, it's the fragrance of unconditional acceptance, of perfect safety, of love that never fails. As you breathe in this heavenly fragrance, feel it filling not just your lungs but your entire being with the essence of peace, with the very atmosphere of divine love. The warmth of this embrace penetrates deeper than your skin, deeper than your muscles, all the way into your bones and beyond into your soul. It's the warmth of belonging, of being known completely and loved unconditionally. This warmth doesn't just comfort your body. It melts away the ice that fear and hurt have formed around your heart, allowing love to flow freely through every part of your being once again. In this eternal embrace, time ceases to have any urgency. There is no rush, no schedule to keep, no demands to meet. There is only this moment of perfect love, this experience of complete acceptance, this reality of being held by the one who created you, redeemed you, and will never let you go. You could rest here forever, and it would not be long enough to exhaust the depths of this love or to fully comprehend the extent of this grace. Sleep deeper now in these everlasting arms, beloved child. Let every muscle relax completely, knowing that you are perfectly supported. Let every worry dissolve, knowing that you are perfectly cared for. Let every fear fade away, knowing that you are perfectly loved. In this embrace, you are home. In this love, you are safe. In these arms, you will rest until morning comes.